Hello everyone, welcome to Marketing 454 Advertising Promotion, and this is Chapter 8. Chapter 8. Let's talk about the creative strategy. Creative strategy in this chapter. Let's talk about the planning and development, right? In Chapter 9, we also talk about other aspects of creative strategy. So this chapter, let's talk about the planning and development. These are the learning objectives. Okay, you need to know so you will know the role of creative strategy in advertising. Okay, the process of creative process, etc. Okay, creative strategy, right? Very important in advertising. This ask people in advertisement, they will tell you this is the most important, right? It determines what the advertising message will say or communicate. Say and communicate. Why do we need to have creative ideas in advertising? Because it's just so much. It's so crowded, right? It's so crowded in advertising, in media. I'm sure you all understand that, right? It's so crowded. So many ads, so many commercials pouring into our consumers every day. You have to, in order to stand out from the crowd, you have to show some creativity or originality. So it determines, the creative strategy determines how you will say and communicate in your ads. Okay? Creative tactics determines how the message strategy will be executed. In advertising industry, they call this the big idea, big idea, right? That's the central theme of the campaign. You want to come up with a good idea, big idea, and then if it's a great theme, you will continue a series of advertisements in the campaign. So there's a central theme of campaign. It's called big idea. Right? This example of BMW, right? BMW, we all know that their slogan here is the ultimate driving machine. You see the bottom here, this logo, the ultimate driving machine. And they have this, this ad here shows the BMW Ultimate Road Home Sales Event, right? Advertising can be used to create image or associations and positions the brand in the consumer's mind. Many consumers who have never driven a BMW perceive it as the ultimate driving machine, as portrayed in this company's ad for the ultimate road home sales event. Okay? So creative ads, right? Good creative strategy and execution are central to determine the success of product or service, right? But on the other hand, you do have to keep in mind though that advertising creative ads do not always increase sales, do not always lead to increased sales volume, right? And also, it may not revive a declining brand. If the brand is in decline, right? You may not be able to revive that just because of one creative idea. Okay? Many people in the industry are ambivalent. They are ambivalent toward advertising awards. In advertising industry, they give out many awards for creativity, execution, everything in the industry. Among ad agencies, there are some big ones in New York. There's big one in Atlanta, all about advertising awards, right? But people in industry, they are not that not that crazy about that. Okay, in creative ads. Okay? There are different perspectives on advertising creativity. Different perspective. Manager's perspective versus creative's perspective. The manager's perspective, right? Advertising is creative only if it sells the product. Just managers, sales managers, they're saying, hey, if it doesn't sell, it doesn't matter, right? Ads are promotional tools used to communicate favorable impressions to the marketplace. Right? They're risk averse and want more conservative ads. That's sales manager perspective. Risk averse, they don't want to risk anything too much. They want more conservative ad. Right? The creative perspective from ad agencies, creative people, right? They're seeing ad creativity in its artistic value and originality. Right? Ad creativity is important. It has artistic value, and originality should be highly valued. Right? They're saying that they persist that the ads are communication vehicles for promoting their own aesthetic viewpoints and personal career objectives. They want to maximize impact of the message. They want to maximize the impact of the message. They don't have the sales, volume in mind as much as sales managers. What determines creativity? We all know creative. You see somebody's creative. You may think yourself creative. Yeah. What determines creativity? Right. There are two in advertising creativity. What is advertising creativity? First, the definition. Advertising creativity is ability to generate fresh, unique, and appropriate ideas that can be used as solutions to communication problems. Okay? Remember, ability to generate fresh, unique, and appropriate ideas that can be used as solutions to communication problems. That's advertising creativity. Okay? There are two central determinants of creativity. One is divergence, the other is relevance. Okay? Including your test, okay? Remember, divergence and relevance. It has to be divergent, and creativity has to be relevant. Okay, let's look at each and both of them. Okay? This is the ad. This is ad by Allstate, right, insurance company. Yeah, it's part of this Mayhem campaign. The company has been running this Mayhem campaign, which has high fluency. The campaign has run since 2010 and features scores of ads showing villainous character wreaking havoc on vehicles and properties. Okay, you can see that. And that's why in cases like that, situations like that, you need insurance, and Allstate is here to help you. Okay. And determinants of creativity, right? Two, right? First is divergence. What is divergence? Right? Divergence is the extent to which ad contains elements that are novel, different, or unusual. It's divergent from the routine, normal, right? And divergence is achieved through originality, flexibility, elaboration, synthesis, and artistic value. Originality, it has to be original, right? And it has to be flexible enough. And it has elaboration, make you think further, wondering about, to think and to wonder about, okay? To elaborate on that. It has synthesis, synthesis of different ideas and concepts. Right? Of course, it has to be artistic, pretty. Okay? And so that's divergency. Right? This ad from KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, or KFC, KFC hot and spicy chicken, right, uses divergence based on originality and artistic value. Right? It says hot and spicy. They use that, the exhaust from this hot rod car, and create something like this to give you an idea. And this one looks like their Kentucky Fried Chicken they produce just out of fryer. It seems to me. Okay? So that's divergency, the first one. Okay? Second part of determinant of creativity is relevance. Relevance. Relevance is the degree to which elements of an ad are meaningful, useful, or valuable to consumer. It has relevancy, right? Relevant, right? The elements, meaningful, useful, or valuable to consumer, right? How do you achieve relevance? Two ways: ad to consumer relevance and brand to consumer relevance. Ad to consumer relevance, this is that the ad contains execution elements that are meaningful to consumers. Right? There's some execution elements meaningful to the consumers. And then for brand to consumer relevance, the advertised brand or product or service is of personal interest to the consumers. Then we say the brand to consumer, there is relevance here. Okay, so that's the two aspects here. Okay, relevance. Okay, there's another determinant of creativity. Okay? Studies of advertising creativity have shown that one, it impacts consumers' response across various stages of response hierarchy. Remember the response hierarchy we talked about in earlier chapters? Creativity impacts consumers' response across all various stages, many stages. Right? Creativity draws more attention to the advertised brand, draws their attention, right? It increases higher level of recall, generally higher levels of recall, the message, the brand, has greater motivation to process information because it's so creative. It generates more motivation to process information, to understand the meaning, right? And it invokes deeper levels of processing of the advertising message. Okay? Attention, motivation, processing. Right? It positively impacts emotional reactions, including attitude and purchase intentions. And remember, the emotional aspect, attitude change, and purchase intentions can be impacted by creativity in advertisement. Okay, right? So that's why this is so important, so useful, right? So meaningful, okay, in ads. Okay? And this chart shows the impact of combination of creative elements on sales, right? On sales, right? And on top, these are more effective, and the bottom, less effective, right? And this on the last column here is percentage of relative effectiveness. There's a sales uplift pairing relative to average effectiveness. Okay? So what kind of creative combinations work the best? If you have originality plus elaboration, it's very effective, right? Increase the sales uplift by 90%, by 90%. Okay? Originality plus artistic value, 89%. Elaboration plus artistic value, 28%. Originality plus synthesis, a little bit. Originality plus flexibility actually decrease, right? Synthesis plus elaboration -5, right? Flexibility plus synthesis -20. So synthesis artistic value, not that good. If you only have flexibility and elaboration, no good. Flexibility plus artistic value only is less effective, very less, not effective at all. Right? So what you should strive for: originality plus elaboration, originality plus artistic value. Huge impact. Okay? But there are challenges to creativity, the creative challenge, right? It must transform advertising message into engaging and memorable ad. And if it's truly a creative, it has to transform advertising message into something that's engaging to the consumers and memorable. They will memorize that. They will remember that ad. They can talk to their friends and families about that. Okay? Every marketing situation is different, and each campaign or advertisement requires a different creative approach. And so you keep that in mind. Okay? You have to take some risk in creativity development. You know, taking creative risk, right, is essential because for creating breakthrough advertisement that get noticed, you have to go pick that risk. And some agency clients must be open to new ideas. If you're not open to new ideas, you may not accept the risk or the new creative ads developed by the agencies. And this one here is Nike's willingness to allow their ad agency, the Wyden and Plaza Kennedy, to take creative risk has paid off in this powerful and effective advertisements like this one, featuring the tennis champion Serena Williams on her retirement. Okay, it said here, by Nike changing nothing, she changed everything. Yeah, by changing nothing, she changed everything. Yeah, her style, her retirement. Yeah, that's the taking the creative risk. Right. There's a perpetual debate between the sales manager and the creative manager. Okay? Creative versus hard sell advertising. What is it? You want advertising to be creative versus you want advertising to be hard selling. Okay? The suits or the rationalists are, of course, the hard sell, sales managers, right? They think, they believe, or they hold the opinion that the advertising must sell the products or service. The more selling points in the ad, the better chance of purchase. That's their view. Okay? The creative side, the poets, they believe that advertising must build an emotional bond between consumers and brands or companies. They want to build a bond, right? And consumers want to be entertained and inspired. That's their view. Okay, this debate has been ongoing as a perpetual one. Okay? Creative personnel. What kind of people are creative? What kind of personnel? They often have background in business areas. Non-business areas. They have background in that. They tend to be more abstract and less structured, less organized, and less conventional, definitely. Okay? And everyone involved in IMC must seek creative solutions. Okay? Yeah. And the client relationship should not inhibit the creative process. I don't know which side you're going to be on. You're on the ad agency side, or the manager side, business side, right? That you should not inhibit the creative process. How to come up with creative idea? How do you come up with creative idea? There we have two models to present here, right? One is called the Young's model of the creative process. Young's model, right? This model suggests that you can go through this process, right? Immersion. First, immersion, digestion, incubation, illumination, and reality or verification. Basically, in immersion stage, you gather new raw materials and data, immerse yourself in the problem. Sleep on it, think about it every day, all the time. Okay, that's immersion. Then digestion. Analyze the information you have obtained, digest it, chew it over and over, digest it. Incubation. Let the subconscious do the work. Do you believe in subconsciousness? Okay, subconsciousness. Okay. I believe in we have a main consciousness and the system consciousness. Some people may have more than one system consciousness, right? Let your subconscious do the work, incubate. That's a great idea. Illumination, eureka moment, right? Birth of an idea. A new idea is born, right? That's illumination stage. And then verification or reality. studying the idea and reshaping it for practical usefulness. That's Young's model of creative process. Okay? Keep that in mind, study that, it's going to be your test. Okay? There's also the Wallace model. Wallace model of creative process. It's kind of like similar, it's a little different. Basically, in this model, preparation, you gather background information needed to solve the problem through research and study. Okay, do that. And then you go through incubation, letting ideas develop. And again, illumination, finding the solution. Verification, refining idea and analyzing whether it is the appropriate solution or not. Okay, that's Wallace model. Okay, of the creative process. Okay. Account planning. In creative process, account planning is also part of this process. You conducting research and getting relevant information about the client's product, service, and brand, okay? To study the consumers in target audience. Okay? As account planners, you provide decision makers with information required to make an intelligent decision. Okay? Account planners are also responsible for research conducted during the creative strategy development process. You drive the process from the customer's point of view because you're the account planners, so you should drive the process from the customer's, business's point of view. That's what account planners do. Okay? Inputs to the creative process. We got about preparation, incubation, and illumination, right? And you should do some background research. Yeah, you to find out about the fact finding, find out about the facts, all the facts about the customer and the brand, the product. Okay? So there's some fact finding techniques that you can use, right? Read everything related to the product market. Read everything. Remember, for your group project, you can focus on the product, right? A product, a brand, or company. Okay. And once you decide on that, I want you to work on that as a group. Work on that group and let me know your group choice, right? Group decision as soon as you can, anytime. The earlier you can do that, the sooner you can start working on it once I give you the approval to go. Right? And for you, while working on the project, on your own project, advertising project, you should do the same. Read everything related to the product market. And ask everyone involved with the product information. Okay? Listen to what people are talking about, particularly the client. Okay? Use product service and become familiar with it. Okay? And if whenever possible, you should use that product. Okay? Learn about the client's business, understand their business. That's how you can find lots of fact about the company, the product, or the brand. Okay? Also, there's some general pre-planning input here. You gather and organize information on the product, market, competition. You analyze the trend, development, and happenings in the marketplace. Okay? You do your background research. Okay? Get yourself familiar. Okay? There are also some product or service specific pre-planning input. You get the information through studies conducted by client on product or services and target audience, and gather demographic and psychographic profiles of the consumers. And you can use focus groups to do that. And you can do problem detection, asking consumers familiar with the product to list aspects they do not like, what they do not like about the product. Maybe that'll give you some inspiration as to what to do to advertise, to design, to redesign the product. Input for product improvements or new product development, ideas regarding which features to emphasize in the ad, right? Also gives you guidelines for positioning the brand. Remember the positioning strategy? The perception of brand in the mind of consumers. That's your positioning strategy. Okay? Yeah, you can do that. The Interactive Advertising Bureau, Interactive Advertising Bureau is a source of information for marketers using online advertising. They set standards, guidelines, and best practices that you can check, okay, for online advertising especially. Also, you can get some qualitative research input. Qualitative research input and provides valuable insight at the early stages of a creative process. You can use a focus group study. Focus group, consumers from target market are led through a discussion regarding a topic. You can learn insights from the focus group and who target audiences. Okay, who the target audience, who the creative needs to write, design, and direct to. Yeah. Which creative approach to use. Right? The creativists believe that the testing can weaken creative execution and interfere with the creative process. That's something you keep in mind. Right? This ad here on the right is for Aflac. Remember the Aflac duck? Right? Aflac belongs to you, not your company. So make sure you take it with you. Aflac duck. Yeah. The Aflac duck did not test well in focus groups. Interesting, right? They did not test well in focus group, but the company continued to use it anyway. Right? This creative award-winning campaign has been very successful for Aflac. And I'm sure you have seen this Aflac duck, right? But it turned out, the focus group, at least that panel focus group participants, did not like this idea too much. Also, qualitative research input, you can do ethnographic research, observing consumers in their natural environment. Okay? Researchers prefer it over focus groups to eliminate undue influence. Okay? After doing observation. But it's expensive to conduct and difficult to administer. Doing consumers in the natural environment. Okay? It's hard to do, expensive to do, and difficult. Okay? And the Advertising Research Foundation initiated this David Ogilvy Awards. The As Real as It Tastes is a campaign for Michelob Ultra. Organized Seltzer won a David Ogilvy Award for an IMC campaign based on consumer research. It's a real surfing beats web surfing. They're by Anheuser-Busch, right? Michelob Ultra. Yeah. And the inputs to creative process. Yeah. Verification and revision. Okay? The creative process, the creative idea need to be processed, right? And it need to be verified and revised. Yeah? And the process here is you evaluate ideas. Yeah. You reject the inappropriate ideas. You can come up with many ideas, a lot of ideas, right? There's some inappropriate ones you have to be rejected. And the remaining ideas need to be refined, right? Refined. And then give ideas the final expression, okay? Putting in a creative brief. Yeah. The techniques you can use, the directed focus groups is one, message communication studies, portfolio tests, evaluation measures such as viewer reaction profiles can be used to do that. Okay? And as to verification, revision of the creative process, you can use the storyboard. Storyboard is a series of drawings that present a proposed commercial's visual layout. You can use a storyboard. You can use animatic, videotape of storyboard along with audio soundtrack. Make it animatic. Right? This is an example of storyboard. Splash of life. Okay? This is the splash of life. Marketers can gain insight into consumers' reaction to commercial by showing them a storyboard of or an animatic, such as the storyboard for the splash of life. You want to show them, what's going to be they're going to be seeing, right? Story, picture by picture, okay? Storyboard. Okay? Now let's talk about advertising campaign. Okay? Without each individual ad, and also a series of ads that make up advertising campaign. So advertising campaign is a set of interrelated, coordinated marketing communication activities that center on a single theme or idea. Remember the big idea? Okay? And they can appear in different media across a specified time period, and have launch a campaign that lasts for months or years. Yeah. And the campaign, you need to have a theme, campaign theme. The theme is the central message communicated in all the advertising promotion activities. Okay? Oftentimes it's expressed through a slogan, a tagline. That's the theme, slogan, a tagline. Right? Slogan taglines are summation line that briefly expresses companies or brands' positioning and message it is trying to deliver to a target audience. Okay? That's in the slogan or tagline. Okay? Now let's talk about tagline. All right, you need to create effective slogans. Okay, in campaign you want to create effective slogans. The slogan should be simple, catchy, and predictable. Okay, simple, catchy, predictable, and should connect with consumers emotionally. Okay? And many companies are not using them, unfortunately. Yeah, they're not using them. Okay. Campaign themes is your attempt to develop campaign themes that last many years. I'm sure you have seen many companies' campaign themes that have been lasting, they've been used over and over. Okay? And the theme campaign is guided by specific goals and objectives, of course. Right? The creative strategy statement is outlined in a copy or creative platform. You try to connect with consumer values and personalities. That's what you want to do in this theme. Okay? This chart shows it's a guideline for advertising slogans. Right? And this is in the center is your brand name, and then you come up with a slogan or tagline around that brand. Okay? And it's said to be a shadow of a brand. Okay? It should be memorable. It should be actionable. Okay? Should build relations. It's a relation builder. It should be elaborative. Yeah, people will think further, elaborate further. Okay? It should be predictable. Okay? And then in the outer parameter, it should be simple. Should be instigating. Should reflect the brand. Reflect the brand nicely. Should appeal emotionally to the consumers. Should be catchy. It has to be catchy. It should not be lengthy. Doesn't need to be too long. It should not be lengthy. It should define the aim of the product. Okay? It should represent the real essence of the brand. Okay? It must relate to everyday life situations. Okay? That's how you come up with the slogan and taglines. Okay? Give you a good guideline for doing that. Okay? Let's look at some examples of effective advertising slogans. You might be familiar with some of them, maybe not all of them, right? Toyota has this slogan, "Let's go places." Let's go places. Right? The Home Depot, how doers get more done. How doers get more done, right? Do it yourself first, right? Amazon, spend less, spell more. Spend less, smell more. Right? McDonald's, I'm loving it. They've been using that for a while. Right? Sony PlayStation, play has no limits. Walmart, save money, live better. Save money, live better. Bounty, the quicker picker upper. The quicker picker upper, okay? And Airbnb, yeah, the home sharing, hotel, kind of like hotel related. Belong anywhere. That's pretty catchy, right? Belong anywhere, and also connecting to consumers' need. Okay? Capital One has this one. What's in your wallet? What's in your wallet? Okay? Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin' Donuts. Right? So these are some example of slogans. Okay? Creative brief. That's a document. Right? The document ad agencies use, and I want you to have this creative brief in your project paper. Okay, your paper, and you have one brief here. Okay, what is creative brief? Is a document that specifies key elements of the creative strategy and serve as a basis for communication between client and ad agency. Right? You need to come up with this brief, this document. You can take that to the client and tell them what you intend to do. Get their approval, then you can carry out. Okay? Association of National Advertisers, ANA, Association of National Advertisers provides guidelines for developing effective briefs. Right? It's a two-step process. The client creates assignment brief, and then the ad agency develops their creative brief. Right? Clients say, I have this assignment brief, what I want to do. Okay? Agency develops creative brief. What kind of creative idea I want to generate for you? Yeah. The collaboration brief. The client takes the lead and develops brief with ad agency. Okay, but there are often gaps in information though. Okay, that creative brief. Okay, the key elements in creative brief. Right? This is you can use that to generate the URLs for your paper. Okay? The first one, basic problem or issues the communication must address or solve. You know, why having this ad? Why do you want to have this ad? Okay, the basic problem or issues. 2, what's your communication objectives? What's your communication objective? 3, who's your target audience? Yeah, you need to tell that in the brief. Yeah. 4, insights to drive creative work. What kind of insight have you obtained to drive your creative work? 5, the key benefits or major selling idea to communicate. Okay? Number 6, reason to believe or supporting information. Reason to believe and supporting information. 7, tone and manner, brand personality. What kind of tone and manner? What kind of brand personality do you convey here? Okay? 8, deliverables. Yeah, what is needed and when. And 9, measures of success. It should be tied back to objectives. Okay, these are the key elements of a creative brief. Okay? And the search for major selling ideas. We talk about selling idea, major selling ideas, right? What is a major selling idea? That's the strongest singular thing company can say about its product or service. Single most important thing the strongest single thing a company can say about the product or service. That's your major selling idea. It has the broadest, most meaningful appeal to target audience. It's a basis for many creative, successful advertising campaigns. Okay, this one you probably have seen that by Old Spice. This "The Man You're a Man Could Smell Like" campaign for Old Spice is one of the best campaigns of the new millennium. And what is the Old Spice's major selling idea in this campaign? What do you think? It says "Smell like man, Old Spice." And you're riding the horse, sweaty, you want to still smell good, right? So that's the idea here. How do we develop a major selling idea? Yeah, the most creative ideas try to dramatically and effectively convey the key benefit claims. Yeah. You can use different approaches. You can use the unique selling proposition, USP, unique selling proposition. You want to create a brand image. Yeah. You want to find the inherent drama in the story. Right? You want to establish your positioning. Right? Let's make all part of your major selling idea. Okay? Unique selling proposition, USP. Now remember this word or this acronym. Okay? That's gonna be your test. Okay? What's a unique selling proposition? Okay? Each advertisement must say to each reader, buy this product and you will get this benefit. Okay? Competition either cannot or do not offer. Right? It must be unique in brand or in the claim. And you must have something. That's why it's called unique selling propositions. Right? Buy this product and you'll get this benefit, but competitors cannot offer. Okay? Your USP must be strong enough to pull over new customers to the brand. Strong enough to pull new customers into the brand. Okay? Advertiser must consider whether USP provides a sustainable, competitive advantage. Okay? Good USP could generate a sustainable, competitive advantage. Okay? This one is the thermocare. Thermocare, right? Stands for thermocare. Use a unique selling proposition by describing what makes the product different. What is unique selling proposition here? Right? He said, what makes thermocare different? It heals. It heals. Right? It heals your back pain. As it provides back pain therapy. Right? Heat plus relief plus healing is thermocare. The proof that it heals is you. Now, that's pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. To develop major selling idea, right? You need to create a brand image. Okay, that's called the image advertising. Image advertising, right? The strategy used to develop a strong, memorable identity for a brand. That's image advertising. Right? To be successful in image advertising, you need to associate your brand with the symbols or artifacts that have cultural meaning. It's meaningful culturally to consumers, to your target audience. Right? You can use visual appeals that convey psychosocial associations and feelings, good feelings. Positioning. Remember positioning? Position strategy was a positioning. Establish product or service in a particular place in consumer's mind. Right? Positions. Remember? And it's done on the basis of distinct attributes of your brand. Right? It's the basis of firm's creative strategy when it has multiple brands competing in the same market. Sometimes, like for example, Procter & Gamble, right? They have many different brands of detergent, Tide, Cheers, and others. Right? They're actually competing with each other, but each has its own distinctive attributes, and that made them separate. And they have different position strategies in the minds of consumers. This ad is by Subway. Yeah, Subway used the Eat Fresh Refresh campaign. Eat Fresh Refresh campaign to reposition the sandwich chain around freshness. Yeah. There are some contemporary approaches to the big idea. Contemporary approaches to the big idea. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Many creative styles and strategies are now available. Okay. And they believe that the contemporary approach, they believe that the big ideas must capture the consumer's attention, right? It must differentiate the brand, right? And it has to be adaptable to be used across various media. And it has to engage consumers, enter into a dialogue with them. That's the new contemporary approach to the big idea. Capture attention, differentiate yourself, and be adaptable to different media types, and engage your consumers. Okay? So that's all I have for this chapter. Right? Thank you. I'll see you next time.